wake up, it's 2025, time to dye your hair red and get a new tattoo. Just kidding, not advising that at all. New year, new me is a great saying, but tactically speaking, how do you exactly just start something new in 2025? You may just be watching this right now on your couch or in your bed after scrolling through social media, seeing the 100th TikTok of someone going out there and trying something new or forming new habits for 2025, and you just wonder, how do I myself find the motivation and courage to put myself out there and try something new, something just a little bit out of my comfort zone for this year? And most importantly of all, not just try something new, but how do I make it stick? Whether it's taking on hip hop dancing or going figure skating for the very first time, playing a new instrument, or even starting a YouTube channel, the possibilities are endless for you to grow as a human being on this earth and become the best version of yourself in 2025. Today, I'm going to deliver for you the ultimate guide to start anything new in 2025. It's time to turn one day into day one. You see what I did there?
I need to get my shit together and stop doing the dad jokes.
Hello friends of the internet, happy 2025, and if you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Kathy and I'm a 26-year-old competitive figure skater living and training in New York City. You can also find me here on Instagram where I post more about my athlete life and motivational content, so if you want more of that, feel free to check that out. All right, let's jump into the first question you might run into. Where do I even start? What do I even pick as my new challenge or new goal or new habit to try for this year? The first thing I want to caution you on is to pick just one thing to start. It's easy to say, new year, new me, I'm gonna change everything. And after the New Year's, after you get over your hangovers, you're gonna be so motivated, you're gonna be like, oh my God, seeing all these people on social media doing changes, working out, going to the gym, doing all these things with their life, and you're like, I can do that too. But then after week 3 and week 4, we see our New Year's resolution go downhill, because realistically, when you make so many changes at once, it's gonna feel really overwhelming. You always have to give yourself an adjustment period, because whatever new thing you try, whatever new habit, new goal you set for yourself, you're going to have to take time for your body, your schedule, everything to get adjusted. If you build things in gradually and do one thing at a time, you have a higher success rate of actually being able to achieve your goals and stick to it. That's definitely not saying that in 2025 you only have one goal and that's your one job. Maybe for the first month, try something out and then see how it goes. And if you want to add in a new thing or a new habit, slowly do it throughout the course of the year. We get into a habit of treating January or the start of the new year as a fresh start, but really what a fresh start is whenever you are mentally and physically ready for that challenge. It's just a concept that we created for ourselves. Like everything, I guess, is just a construct. Like time is a construct, the year is a construct. Everyone just treats January as the reset time period. But if you kind of internalize that and create your own time period, you can technically start something new whenever you want and feel that same spirit of motivation. So then your next question may be, what is the one thing that I should pick for my new challenge or new habit? And this will look differently for everyone. It's a very individualized process. To summarize, they come in 2 flavors. One, it could be a new passion or new interest or learning something new that you always wanted to explore. And the second thing is just a new habit, whether that is a lifestyle change, a diet change, something just more daily routine wise. So the first thing I want to touch upon is, how do you curate and find a new interest or new passion or new thing to learn? Keyword, notice that I said passion and interest and not the word hobby. I have a personal vendetta against the word hobby. I feel like that word trivializes and minimizes the impact of what we're trying to achieve. When you start something new this year, I want you to do one thing, and that is to honor and respect your own goals and treat your own goals with a degree of gravity and seriousness. Do not downplay what you want to achieve. Oftentimes, as a beginner to anything, society often makes you feel almost silly for having these new goals and trying something new that you may be really bad at. So as a defense mechanism, we try to undermine our own goals. When families or friends ask us about our new goals or whatever new interests, we often brush off and say, oh, that's just a little new hobby that I've been dabbling in. Oh, it's not that serious. Why not reframe that and say, yeah, this is something that I found myself really enjoying this year and I feel really fulfilled by it. And this year I'm trying to achieve the best of what I can achieve or the best of what I can learn and get out of this experience. There is nothing more honorable and that I respect more in a person than someone who believes in the power of their own goals. You can't achieve anything if you yourself don't believe it. The second thing is new habits. habits. Habits are something that are a little bit easier to change because it's more of a routine activity. If you are trying a new interest or a new passion, it's very likely that new habits will come along with that whole journey. For me, when I first picked up figure skating a couple of years back, about 5-6 years ago, I was a complete beginner. I had no experience at all. So when I set a goal for myself that one day I want to become a competitive figure skater, I realized that certain lifestyle changes and habits had to come with it. And that includes eating a healthy diet, going to sleep earlier for recovery, and also training for skating was really early in the morning. So depending on what you pick, that could also influence what new habits may come along in the process. I would encourage you, before you start anything, to sit down with yourself and have a little introspection session and think about what is something that I always wanted to do, but I was too scared or, too timid, or this or that circumstance prevented me from doing it. See what are the first things that come to your mind. I want you to think without any sort of restriction, any sort of social judgment, any sort of, am I good at this or bad at this? Take all those qualifiers and kick them out the door and just have a blank slate of what comes to your mind first. Usually the first couple of things that come to your mind is likely going to be your answer. If you don't know and you're just sitting there doing this exercise and you're like, my mind is blank, let me help you out. When I was in college, I had a really interesting conversation with a professor at my school, and she's also a famous author, Angela Duckworth. If you haven't heard of her, she's the author of the infamous book Grit. And one of the things that we talked about is that very likely the things that we choose to do in life and the things that we find fulfillment in are a function of what we are naturally good at and what we're interested in. And sometimes those two things kind of mutually come together to get you there to that answer. The question I remember posing for her as a student in her classroom, what are the likelihoods of someone picking something that they are inherently really bad at? Her answer was, yes, that is a lower likelihood, but there are people like that who just naturally, innately seek a new challenge, and that could be very much so something that you do. Something that helps is, first of all, think about something you're good at, generally speaking, not very specific. Back in 2018, where I really wanted to try something new and just do something for myself, I kind of sat myself down and just started thinking about what that would be. One of the things that I know that I already find enjoyment in and that I was relatively good at was just athletics. I love being an active person. I grew up my whole life playing sports, whether it's running, track and cross country, or playing volleyball competitively. I just love doing active things. And also something I was relatively decent at. That's not saying that, oh, I can just go out there and pick up any sport and be great at it, because I shit you not. If I went out there right now and tried to play soccer, I would have my ass whooped. I would be terrible. But what I do know is that I love enjoying physical activity, so I would still derive joy from it. Something that you think is within the realm of your reach, and for me that was something in the athletic space, doesn't necessarily mean that you're already really good at this one specific thing. It was just more so thinking about the broader category of things you might be interested in and also good at. The best part about taking on a new passion or interest is you also learn new things about yourself, new things that you like, new things that you dislike. It's literally like dating. If you don't go on a number of dates to figure out what you dislike or like in a partner, then you won't be able to choose the right person for you. So it's the same concept when it comes to looking for interests and passions in life. And the last thing I will say here is be thoughtful about what you choose. Make sure you do your research, watch YouTube videos about whatever topic it is. There are a number of videos on the internet that will help you get a better sense of, is this the right thing for me or not? If you're interested in starting figure skating for the first time, my channel, for example, has a ton of videos about how to start as a beginner, all the things you need to know. So there are resources out there that are free and on the internet for you to use to your advantage. So make sure you do that. And also rely on your friends and talk to your friends. If you know somebody or are close to someone who is good at or an expert at or even just dabbles at what you might be interested in getting into, have a conversation with them. That is the best way to learn about something new, is through word of mouth and through just the people around you. You may be thinking, oh my God, I don't know how to do this thing. I'm gonna look so cringy in front of a room of strangers in my very first hip hop dancing class. Or maybe you're starting a YouTube channel or a TikTok and you're just like, oh my God, what is my friends gonna think of me? And then I'm gonna drop the C word that everyone's afraid of. Friends might even think you're cringy. Like, just even the sound of that word is like, ugh.
like the word moist, you know? Like, it's just like, the moment you say it, it's like icky.
However, to that, I will say you have to climb the cringe mountain. The word cringe has a severely negative connotation, but I will say cringe is not bad. Sometimes you have to embrace the cringe and be comfortable with it because that's where you find the most growth. So many people live their lives in fear of being cringy or coming off as cringy. Society seems to deem that as the worst thing in the world, while in reality, living your life in fear and not living it to its fullest potential is arguably 2,000 times worse. You don't want to live your life with regrets just because you think some random hater on the internet is gonna judge you or think you're cringy. So what if they think you're cringy? That person's opinion literally does not matter. When you start something new, I'm gonna be honest with you, you're never going to look like the pinnacle of what society deems as success. On social media, for the most part, everyone puts the best of the best, right? If you're trying to be an athlete, you see content about being an Olympian, winning gold medals. You have to embrace all parts of the journey, the good part and the bad part. Part of the challenge of learning something new is climbing that cringe mountain because you have to get past that fear of being judged and feeling like you're cringy. Trust me, it is so rewarding to see growth and transformation over time. As humans, we inherently love change or seeing change. This is why when you watch YouTube, everyone loves transformation videos, glow up videos, because people like to be brought along the process and the whole journey. A video is not going to be fun to watch if you just watch someone be amazing in day one. No goal is too big or too stupid. Don't let anyone tell you that. The people who spend their time making fun of beginners are probably the very people who are scared to live their life to the fullest because they have all this time on their hands, and what are they going to do with it? Judge other people instead of living out their fullest potential. Those are also not the people that you want to keep around in your life. So to that, say good riddance to those people in 2025. However, a smooth transition and pivot to the next thing is you do want to surround your inner circle with better people. Whatever new interest or a new passion you take on, engage and embrace the community. Meet new people in the community, make new friends, because it is so important in cultivating whatever new interest or new passion you have. Meeting new people through a shared interest is one of the best ways to broaden your horizon and perspective. Most hobbies or interests have a diverse group of people who are engaged in that community. You get more exposure to different types of people from different socioeconomic backgrounds, different ethnicities, different childhood upbringings, from different parts of the world. All those things can help enrich and make you a better human being. When I started skating, I met so many people that I would probably never become friends with if I didn't meet them through skating. I met people younger than me and older than me. Like, one of my favorite people at the rink is this amazing, super sweet lady. I believe she's probably in her 50s and 60s. As a 20-something-year-old, you don't typically go out of your comfort zone to meet people who are not within your immediate college graduate circles. Having a new interest is such a great way to engage with different types of people. The other plus is meeting other people who also love doing the same thing that you do or trying to be on the same journey as you are helps you be more accountable. On the hardest days where I don't want to go to training, I don't want to show up to skate at the rink, I still love going to a rink because I know I'm going to see some of my best friends there. Their motivation and their drive is infectious, and on the bad days, those people help pick you up and make sure that you also show up. And in general, it just makes the whole experience a lot more fun. And trust me, as a fellow introvert, this is still so beneficial. As an introvert, when I first started skating, I literally talked to no one at the rink, literally just kept to myself. But I think over time, you do feel a sense of loneliness. Just because you're an introvert doesn't mean that you don't need human connection. Once I started engaging with the community, getting more involved, making friends, it made my whole experience a lot better. I know we touched upon consistency already a couple times in this video, but how do you actually make something stick? I want you to sit down, do some planning, and set up a routine. I want you to be really diligent about setting up a time that you can consistently go out there and do that thing. Whether that is the same time of the day every day or it's the same day of the week, just helps you have something concrete that you can track against and keep yourself accountable. If your goals are just kind of floating mindlessly in your brain, then it's very easy once new things start picking up, work starts picking up in the new year, other obligations in life, a lot of the times your goals can then fall to the wayside, or you forget about them, or you're stressed about how to build that into your life. Having that structured consistency is also going to help you feel better and help you feel like you're actually tracking towards progress and achieving something new or learning something new. And when you plan, I want to make sure that you don't just plan for a routine, but you plan for many elements. You want to plan for 3 things: your time, your energy, and your money. Those are the 3 internal human resources that you have to take into consideration every time you pick up a new thing. First, your time. We all have 24 hours in a day. What you do with your time is so valuable. So you want to make sure that whatever you're doing is worth your time. Find ways to optimize that. Pick something that you will both enjoy and have other positive external side effects. For example, for me, I love sports. I love being an athlete. Doing figure skating also helps me promote just better health and better exercise habits as well. That's kind of getting 2 positive benefits out of it for the time of 1. It's literally like a buy one, get one free model on your life. And 2, you want to think about your energy. Just because you have time doesn't necessarily mean you have the energy to do it. You have to assess your mental sanity and also where your plate is at every given day so that you don't overfill that. You want to ask yourself, is this activity fulfilling or draining for me? Because if it is something that is draining for you from like a negative standpoint, not just like, oh, after practice I will obviously be tired because that's a physical response, but more so thinking about like something that is really mentally draining, I will say you should probably not be engaging in this activity if that causes you that. And even if it's not in a bad way, taking on certain new things might impact some of the other habits you may have. Like I said, because I spend so much of my day being active, being an athlete, training, conditioning, working out, that depletes my energy quite significantly, not in a bad way in terms of I'm actually really happy after I do those things. However, physically, I need to make sure that I get more sleep so that I can recover from the things that I love to do. And lastly is your money. We live in a world where you do need money to survive. Some new activities may have a higher financial cost than others. You want to plan against that and assess the importance of that goal against everything else in your life. You want to make sure that you have adequate budget to pursue whatever new goal or new passion it is. And sometimes you do have to make certain sacrifices and lifestyle changes to accommodate this new thing that you really love doing. I started figure skating and just fell in love with it. I realized that it was actually a very costly thing to fall in love with. Like, why can't I just have picked something that was less expensive? I knew I had to shift some lifestyle habits around. So that means cutting the amount of times I eat out in a given month, going out less, don't go shopping as frequently. Little things and big things add up quickly. That way I can adequately budget and save money for the thing that actually brings me the most joy in life. And not just a superficial moment of happiness from buying a new shirt or buying something new for myself. Another thing that you want to do to keep yourself accountable and make sure you have that consistency, share your goals publicly or with someone you trust. This could be anything as big as starting like an Instagram progress account that is public to everyone, or it could be just as small as sharing with your family, your significant other, or your friends. This is actually something that I learned when I was in business school. There is actually some research behind this. If you do share your goals publicly, you have a higher success rate of sticking to them and achieving them because you have other people to hold you accountable to it. So that's a really quick and fast one that you can implement at any time. And as you go through this whole journey, I would encourage you to think about defining success in your own way. Take a moment. When I say the word success, what do you kind of envision in your mind? Let me tell you, as a collective, when we hear the word success, we think of literally the pinnacle of human achievement. For acting, it's winning an Oscar. For being an athlete, it's being an Olympic gold medalist. For a content creator, maybe it's 200 million subscribers on YouTube. If you're in business, maybe being a CEO of a company. Maybe not a health insurance one these days though. Because we don't think that we can achieve that, we shouldn't start anything at all. But you don't need to achieve those things to be successful at the thing you're doing. You can be an actor without ever winning an Oscar. Michelle Yeoh has done incredible stuff over the many years of her career, and only like last year she got an Oscar. You can be an athlete without an Olympic gold medal, and you can be a content creator today with your iPhone without having 200 million subscribers. I would argue that what we call in our lives as small wins are actually big wins. Success should be an individualized concept, not a holistic concept. What should be defined as successful for you as a beginner may be very different than what is successful for an Olympic athlete. So as you start this process, I would encourage you to take the time to write down 3 things on a piece of paper, a sticky note, or your journal if you journal, that you would define as successful or wins in your book for the first month of your journey. For me, when I first started skating, those 3 things were just learn how to move and skate backwards, learn how to stop, and the third thing is just to enjoy skating. Those 3 things have nothing to do with getting any gold medals. Final thought I will leave with you today is just do it. Nike, this is your cue to hit me up with that sponsorship if you're watching this right now. JK. But like, actually no. If this is all too much, you're watching countless YouTube videos and still getting nowhere, you're trying to make plans and you're just feeling super overwhelmed, just go out there and do the damn thing. Sometimes you just have to take action and fail fast and be vulnerable. And then you can worry about all the details later. Do I recommend doing this in the long term? Obviously not. But if you're looking for that initial spark of initiation, it might honestly just be good to go out there and do the thing. When we overthink things, when we overplan things, we actually just end up not doing it in the first place because we feel like we have to create all this structure and have a plan and a routine automatically on day 1, that sometimes all that effort just kind of stays in our brain and doesn't actually get executed. And then we run into the worst conclusion of all. We just never start. And this thing that we want to do just continues to be a one-day thing or a next year thing. So don't do that. If you like more videos like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps keep the lights on for this channel. I would really appreciate all of your guys' support. New videos drop every Saturday at 9:30 a.m. ET, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any drops. Let me know in the comments down below what new thing you decide to challenge yourself to doing this year. Remember what I said, sharing your goals publicly can help you feel more accountable to actually achieving them. Here's to another year of building our community on this little corner of the internet here. Good luck, have fun with it, just go out there and do the thing. I know you can, and I believe in you. Manifesting a positive and healthy and happy 2025 to everyone who's watching this. Trust me, I really need that for myself too. Right, till next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye for now, and this is your cue to get out of your bed and go do the damn thing.
Boy, your honey sickly sweet keeps me